Sepultura sind auf großer Abschiedstour, weil sie sich dieses Jahr in den Ruhestand verabschieden. Eigentlich sind sie schon ein bisschen länger auf Abschiedstour, eigentlich schon seit 2 Jahren. Ich hatte sie damals relativ am Touranfang in Offenbach gesehen. Mittlerweile sind sie wieder in Deutschland und haben Montag vor einer Woche in Heidelberg gespielt, zusammen mit Torture Squad und Chromax. Leider hatte ich für das Konzert an sich keine Zeit, aber ich habe die Möglichkeit bekommen, Derrick Green, den Sänger von Sepultura, für ein Interview zusammen mit Chris zu gewinnen. Das haben wir vor der Halle 2 im Park aufgenommen, also schönes Outdoor-Ding mit ein bisschen Atmos-Sounds. Also freut euch da auf was. Allerdings habe ich natürlich jetzt selbst keine Konzertaufnahmen gemacht. Die wurden freundlicherweise beigesteuert von einigen Bekannten und Leuten, die da waren. Ich werde auch nochmal einblenden, wen ihr da supporten könnt. Und in der Beschreibung findet ihr auch ein paar Links, wo ihr die Leute findet, die die Fotos und die Aufnahmen gemacht haben. Beim Video habe ich am Anfang übrigens vergessen, mein eigenes Aufnahmegerät anzumachen. Das ist aber gar nicht schlimm, weil jeder hatte sein eigenes. Das heißt, Derrick ist voll drauf mit seiner Aufnahme. Die erste Frage, die ich gestellt habe, ist dieselbe, die ich immer frage in den Interviews mit Chris. Ich habe einfach gefragt, was ist das Erste, was dir einfällt, wenn du dieses Gesicht siehst? So, seine Antwort hört ihr jetzt. Viel Spaß.
Only joy and happiness. I mean, I kind of like to have that impression about everyone when I first meet them. So joy and happiness, and then I take it from there, whatever that person gives to me, as far as they show them true selves. So I like to go with an open mind. So yeah, this is it.
That's the way it should be, man.
Thing, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
What can you remember when you first met him, or when you have the first concert together in Germany? Or do you remember it, Chris?
I remember it was actually this tour. It was 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was not here. It was in a city called Darmstadt. And it was in a smaller venue. It's called Steinbruch Theater. But I remember it very good because for me personally, it was the first sold-out show I ever organized in my life. And so it was with you guys back in the days. And it also was really funny because it was super packed, super packed. And you were playing. Obviously, the crowd got mad. And then during a song, the break, they started to chant like, "Wall of death, wall of death," and you were like, "Seriously? Where do you want to move?" But they did it. They managed to do it. Yeah, so I remember this show very good, and obviously the last time we saw each other was here in Heidelberg 3 years ago. And on the 70,000 tons of metal.
Yes, yeah. All like crazy times, I think it's hard to lock down, all the shows that we've ever played. It's
of course.
It really, especially shows a little bit further back when I was like when I drank. I stopped drinking probably about 8 years ago or so, but it's hard to remember a lot of stuff. There's like certain details that stick out, unfortunately. I wish I would have knew early on that this would be something such a negative, the aspect of drinking after a show. Like I never drank before shows and stuff, but it's sad, it's sometimes when I meet up with people on this farewell tour and it's like, oh, you remember this time and that, it's just like, man, like I just completely blank out on certain things depending on what I was doing that night. But it's, I have no regrets. I think the energy and everything that was put into being, in all these different places around the world, doing shows here and having those moments together always stick with us, and always stick with me. I'm just happy that I was able to perform and have such a positive impact on, so many different people in different ways. It's really interesting to hear it. So,
yeah. Nice. Yeah, and I mean, you have been quite busy the last 25 years, so I totally understand that you can't remember everything. I mean, it's impossible. But for me, like I said, it was a very special show in many ways. So I will always keep that in my heart, of course.
That's awesome.
And I think we will have a nice ending today. So
I believe so too. It's always such a great honor to play in Germany, and we've always had such a strong history here of Sepultura, and it's the place that we played the most, I think, in any other place in the world. So it's and so you really feel that love and excitement, and it's great that so many people followed for so many years.
Yeah, this farewell tour goes on for a while, I guess, because I saw you with Ginger in Obituary in Offenbach like 2 years ago, I guess, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and we skipped doing festivals.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when you plan a world tour and you do like a farewell tour, because there's a lot of places you want to hit, but you can't hit it all at the same time. It's just impossible. So you have to go back. You know, it takes years, especially with us, since we've been to over 80 different countries in our career, and so we try to go to as many places as possible. Sometimes when setting up festival tours, then you have to do like a whole festival run of summer, and then you can only do a few gigs like in between. The other tour, like full tour, then we ended up skipping the festivals. So it's kind of like making up for a lot of stuff we didn't do, and when we have space, then we fill it up with places that we might have gone to before in order to make everything work. I mean, it's very difficult as an artist to tour and to have the money to keep, you know, everyone that you're working with, and to keep a budget where you actually come out, you know, not in the red, you know. So it's always a struggling art form, you know, with all artists. You know, they're always, for some reason, the financial gains isn't really constitute the work that you do. It's unfortunate, because I think, you know, with teachers, artists, you know, I'm lumping in, like, you know, two different things, but these are things I feel that are really important for society in general. The arts and teachers, you know. So I think there should be proper pay for that. But so we have to do doubles, you know, places where we played already sometimes, and but, you know, people get to see us for an extra extended farewell. So it's been going really well, and it was a great tour with Ginger and Jesus Peace and Obituary. It was a dream come true, actually, you know, to really get these bands and to have them available. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of ideas that flow through and it just doesn't come through, but when it all aligns, then it ends up being something very magical.
Yes, true, yeah. I remember you told me, I think it's 3 years ago now, the last show here, that you will go on a big tour for the 40th anniversary. You couldn't say which bands will join you back then, but you told me like it will be something big, and and that was what it was in the end. So
and very diverse bands, you know, like older to younger, you know, and even younger, and so that was the idea, you know, to really have it, you know, kind of like a festival vibe, and people's ears can hear different styles, you know, and not only the same thing.
And I also think Sepultura was always a band which pulled different crowds, you know, from thrash to punk to normal heavy metal and stuff like that, you know,
death metal,
even death metal. So so it fits perfect together if you can combine it with Obituary, the death metal legend, you know, and Ginger, the upcoming band, you know, with this like, let's say, mathcore stuff. So pretty cool. So glad that it worked out for you. So.
Absolutely.
How long in advance have you planned this world tour and knew this is the last one? So how long in advance you said, okay, this will be the end?
Probably about 3 years ago, at least, if not 4, that we talked about it. And then for the past 2 years, it's just been really going on. So it takes some time. Like, you know, the decision is kind of crazy for a lot of people to imagine it, but it makes sense for us because we're at a very good point in our career. We've done so many challenging things and it's been incredible, but we don't want to just do it to get burnt out and be like, okay, now we cannot do it because physically we can't do it, or there's some type of weird communication breakdown or argument, or somebody, you know, gets hurt, you know, or, you know, we wanted to end on our own accord. You know, there's something to that, you know, it's like, okay, this is a great moment, let's celebrate, you know, all the history and the years and give it the respect that it's due and stop on a very good note, and we feel good about that, having that control over our scenario, how it's going to end out.
Yeah, because I was really like surprised when I heard that it will be the last tour and that Sepultura is ending, because when you see them live, like I said, like I saw them 2 years ago in Offenbach, I was like, this band still have like so much energy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the combination of the group that we have with us, working with us, you know, our team, and then also added member Grayson the Krutman, really inspired us to create an EP, the last thing we did, and that wasn't planned. It was like we were on a farewell, and it's like, hey, let's do an EP. You know, let's like we have these ideas and songs, and very inspirational being on the road and with the new member of the group, and we needed to end with something. Of course, with them made sense, so we just put it all together, and I'm glad that it worked out that way. Where we're able to continue to write in a Sepultura fashion, where people don't know what to expect, and to be creative and to step outside the box, you know, and try something different. I think each Sepultura album has done that. Even before I was in the band, you know, that was something that was very admirable about the band, and so we've always continued that way in a very natural process, and it's just been great response to the new songs. We're doing a lot of it live, and also I have to say that the shows that we're doing, we're going to be recording. We've been recording everything live that we've been doing, and we're creating like a 4-album box set at the end that we're going to have like live stuff from all the different places we've been playing, you know, so combine it all into one, you know, very special live album, you know, big live album. So
nice. Okay. That's a very, very nice idea. Okay. So how hard is it for you if you are on the, so to say, last tour to put together a set list? I mean, you have 15 studio albums, if I'm correct.
Right.
So there's a lot of classics, you know, but also the great new stuff. So how hard is it to put a set list together? And do you play the same set list every night, or do you?
I mean,
switch songs?
We go through patterns of playing the same set list every night, and then we switch out certain songs. Depending, you know, certain festivals they have a certain amount of time.
Yes.
And with our own show, it's like pretty long. But we switch it around because again, we want to have as many songs for the live album to choose from. And also, it's great to do that. You know, it's fun to switch out songs and try to make it interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's we still have a little bit more to go. And the last show we announced November 7th in Sao Paulo, and we'll have a bunch of friends and people to celebrate that, and that should be really amazing moment.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah.
Can you spoil anything of the friends that will be there?
I mean, we've already, you know, we have some Brazilian artists that we've already announced, and Crisium and Sacred Reich. They're going to be participating, and then we're going to add, you know, Metal Allegiance is also a crew of like all-star musicians from the metal and musical world that will be coming down. So it should be really cool. We're still putting as much as we can together. So things could change.
Yeah.
Very nice. Another thing I would like to ask is, like, now Sepultura is not the only band that is like, not going into retirement, but it's disbanding. Like Megadeth is disbanding. Ozzy Osbourne is not coming back, I guess.
Right.
Unfortunately, not.
I think, you know, there's been such a pattern of certain bands. You know, it's like you create an album, you promote it, and then you go on tour for a couple of years, and then you write again, and that cycle can be very exhausting and draining. And I think it's good for certain bands to be able to step back, and I think for us, we definitely felt that we wanted to do that. But at the same time, you know, we still are artists, we're still musicians, and we still want to create. There's never any friction between us to break up, but we can still, you know, represent Sepultura 100% and create, you know, on the level of like artwork or merch or even music, you know. So the touring aspect of it and everything, it's, you know, we're laying that to rest and just kind of going in the moment. So, you know, we can't say like never say never, you know, but at the same time, it's like I think that we're very focused on completing this cycle, starting a new chapter with all of us doing different things, and see how things flow as far as like with music and artwork and certain ideas, you know, because Sepultura is something that will never really die. I think it's something that's always always be in the heart of many different people, whether, you know, you're old school fan or I mean, now old school, I mean, it could be 30 years, you know? I mean, you know, I don't even know how to count. So, I mean, I just see it as a whole, you know, piece, you know, a whole history that we're proud of, every aspect of it, you know, even the part that I'm not a part of, but I am, because, you know, I you know, it's just been so many years and putting, you know, my heart and soul into this and what I believe, and it's just been an incredible journey.
Yeah, I totally believe that. So I just checked yesterday to be sure. So you joined the band 98, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 28 years now. And you know, that's why you said maybe it's 30 now.
Yeah. It's like, pretty much getting to that. You know, it's been a long time. Crazy. You know, there's people that had started off 28 years ago listening to Sepultura. Absolutely. And so it's interesting to see them grow with the band in a way where they're able to identify with, you know, the entire catalog, you know, some going back into time, like not knowing the stuff previous before I joined the band, which is, I find a lot more people, you know, they weren't there at that time, you know, so they can't really pretend to be like, I was a part of that scene, which of course I find that a lot of times with people trying to look cool, you know, like, I'm not a poser, I was there back in the day. And it's like, man, be proud of the moment that you're in. You know, there's a lot of great things going on now, and there's a lot of gatekeepers in the world that I realized of metal, where it's just like unfortunate. But what turned me on as a young kid was the fact that hearing new music from young people and being a part of that. And so I think it's important to go out and see shows, see bands that are happening now, you know, not only just be so focused on the past. I love a lot of old things and classics, they'll always be there, but I mean, what got me into music and to be a musician and to want to evolve in music was seeing young artists and being a young artist and having that drive and energy and just something refreshing. So I think it's important to keep your ears open for that as well, because I was that like closed-minded type of person growing up, like I only listened to punk and this, but it was impossible to but it's impossible to block out good things from the 80s, like pop from the 80s, you know, like if you hear certain songs, I'm like, oh man, this is great memories, you know. And it's like, music is music, you know.
That's true. There can only be good songs or bad songs, doesn't matter which genre it is.
And it's an art form, so it's subjective, you know, it's to what you believe, you know. And that's a lot of people, it's not like a team sport where you're choosing sides, you know, I need to get on this side. I think that's like a total moronic way of looking at it. I think there's just so much love that brought me to music, the fact that you could be yourself and like that and not be harassed or criticized for liking something that you feel, you know, or that you connect with. And so I think that's important to people, to connect with what they feel, you know, not because this group is saying this online or that, you know, or being bullied or being an outsider. I mean, being in the alternative music scene in general was about being on the outside, you know. It's like, that's just naturally who you are. So I think that within the scene, they should have that acceptance, should be a little bit more open. And I feel that's, you know, where the youth lie, in that at creating a bigger scene, you know, continuing onward.
But I have the feeling in the last couple of years, it is like you said, so the people are getting more open-minded and listen to different styles of music, you know what I mean? So I totally remember back in the days, I only listen to thrash metal and I have to wear my battle vest and stuff like that, you know? And but even those people, I think we will see a lot of them today, because it's the last chance, obviously, to see Sepultura and they remember the good old days, you know. But like I said, I mean, you were always a band putting different crowds, so I think maybe it's just my opinion, but there is a very diversity in the crowd.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm very thankful the fact that, like I said, we were always doing different albums, you know, challenging ourselves, and with the different members in the band as well, had to do with a lot of the sound of the music changing, and also attracting a different crowd. You know, we had very young drummers, the past two, and and that had an impact as well, bringing a lot of younger fans into the loop. I mean, with Grayson, it's great. He already had like millions of fans before from doing jazz, playing with Suicidal Tendencies. You know, he was already, you know, an established drummer. So that fan base of his, you know, molding in with Sepultura definitely brings an element of a younger, you know, crowd where it's a young kid that's like, wow, that guy is like my age and he's playing in like a, you know, a massive band or a band that has like a long history. You know, I can do anything, you know, anything is possible. It really creates that excitement, and I'm really glad that I feel that we're fortunate to have that opportunity to work with like that generation of somebody so young. You know, we're learning so much from him, he's learning from us, you know. It's like a great connection, you know. So that also I think has an effect on the crowd.
Yes, okay.
This is a very good point that I also wanted to ask, because you just, like you said, you travel the world, 80 countries on this tour. Many people say that growing bands from new markets, maybe in the next Iron Maiden or the next Metallica, like from India, from Japan, from, I don't know, South America even. Like, what is your opinion on that? Will be there like new bands from different places that really grow big in the next years?
I think it's already been happening. There's so many, especially in the hardcore scene. You see, like, the scene is so massive now. It's really expanding. It's really diverse, where you have a lot of different styles, people coming from all around the world. You know, you have a band like Speed coming from Australia. They're incredible. I've seen them numerous times. I like Drain. I like their show live. Is incredible. They're from California. They're also a younger band. I mean, it's just so many different people out there that have like this passion and this love of music that it's much easier to find nowadays, you know, because that is a positive with the internet. You can search out and find, you know, something that's really appealing to you, and all around the world. So I think, you know, these people that are maybe on the other side of the world are able to project, you know, what they've been doing a lot easier, where you can check it out. And I think that's always growing and exciting. So I'm looking forward to hearing more and more. And it just, it's never, I never get satisfied, you know. I'm always like, I want more, you know.
You're hungry for new stuff. That's
absolutely.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, especially in these days, I guess we need some new bands, because like Sepultura always stands for fights against injustice, authorities, and so.
Of
and
course.
what we see in the world nowadays, I guess
It's
bands
more
like
than
that,
ever.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
How do you encounter this on tour, like this rise of authoritarianism, light of right wing years and so?
Not at our shows. I think we draw a lot of people that are opposed to that. Again, like I was saying, with the internet, there's a lot of people that feel that they're doing some type of battle online, you know, which means absolutely nothing.
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
Basement dwellers.
But I think it's just important, again, for people to find something that moves them and to take action with that, you know, aside from a keyboard, which can, you know, generate a lot of movement. Of course, but I think the action really comes from, you know, physical, you know, like either helping like a food bank, or, you know, like movement, you know, like actual, you know, being there and present, you know, and helping. So this is something that's, you know, priceless.
This is what counts in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's all my question I had for today.
All right.
Do you have anything?
I have two small ones. So I know you used to live in Germany for a while.
Very small.
Very small while. Okay, okay. So, but I just want to know: do you have any favorite German word?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a few. I mean, I would sometimes make up my own words, you know, like if I didn't understand, like I wanted to say something, for example, I didn't know the word for socks, you know, and so I would say, you know, like Fußhosen, you know. I was like, oh, where are my Fußhosen? And it's like, oh, I get it, you know. And I thought that was always funny. I like Schmetterling. What's it?
Oh, Schmetterling, yeah.
It's
a butterfly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Erdbeeren, just because the earth from the berry, you know, the berry from the earth, I'm sorry. And I mean, there's so many Kühlschrank. I always thought it was cool because I was like, it's a trunk and it's cold. And I was like, yes, a cold box, ice box. I get it. German is amazing language. And it's incredible because it's so descriptive, German.
That's true, yeah.
And I just fell in love with it just because I got so much inspiration from Germans. They were like, you're getting better. Your German is getting good. You know, it's like, it's incredible. And I'm like, ja, stimmt.
Yes,
Natürlich.
Totally right. There's the same with a friend of mine. She said so. Glove in Germany it is called Handschuh. Handshoes.
Yeah.
You know. So then she was laughing her ass off. So it's called handshoes.
Yeah. There's so many great words. I think the hardest thing to say, and I'm still working on, is to say squirrel.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like a mouthful of like, it's like, what? But why would I even know this word? It's crazy. But
So you do understand German still?
I understand a lot. I understand it, yeah.
Okay.
If I'm here for a certain amount of time, I think I can really catch on a lot. I'm really good at imitating when people speak. So people are like, wow, you know, your German's fantastic.
Okay.
And that has a big effect on it as well. In Portuguese, too, if I'm speaking, people are like, oh, you sound like you're from Sao Paulo, you know, a specific area. And I can hear the distinction between somebody from Rio or from the north or south of Brazil. And kind of like listening to the guys speak, I just started imitating a lot of that. And I love voiceover work and stuff like that. So hearing German, I thought it was very dramatic language. You know, when it's speaking, there's a lot of ups and downs. So for me, I hear, you know, as music, it's like, wie geht's ja? Alles gut, ja? Das ist ganz toll. You know, it's like up and down, and I like that. And so it was easier for me to catch that. And it's also, you know, English is coming from German, so I like the root of the words and finding out like, oh, okay, now I know why we say this in English. You know?
Yeah, okay, right. Nice, yeah, well. And then I only have one final question.
Okay.
So, the World Cup is taking place right now, obviously, in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. I just want to know, what do you guess? Which team will make it in the end? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, of course, I'm rooting for Brazil, but I think the team is trash. I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
No Vinny Jr. anymore.
I mean, I love Vinny. I think he's the player, you know. But you can't win with just one player.
Yes. True.
So I feel for them, you know. I really are always rooting deep down for them. I would love to see the U.S. step up and do some, you know, create some motion, but I'm not delusional. I don't think they're going to win. I mean, unless it's paid off or something. Yeah, I know. Nowadays, I never know. Like, it's like miraculously the United States team has come together and won the World Cup for the first time. Like, I don't know if this is the year. But I have to see some more. I want to see more games to get a better idea. But Brazil, always.
Okay. All right. Well, let's cross the fingers. I mean, Germany did yesterday they won 7-1.
Yeah,
so it was pretty impressive.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course. But still, I mean,
yeah. I mean, I feel for Curaçao. I mean, they didn't deserve to get beaten that badly, but
hey.
But they got a goal.
And
it was a nice goal, that guy is famous.
Yeah,
good for him, you know.
And then they have this coach from the Netherlands, Dick Advocaat. So,
makes sense.
But no, I don't think Germany will win this World Cup. I think Spain is my hot take.
Please don't say that.
Spain is my hot take. I'm sorry about that, but
No
comment on that.
I would like England, because then they have to thank a German that they won, because
they have the German coach. Yeah, true.
Good logic there.
Yeah, let's see. All right. Well, Derrick, thank you so much.
Dankeschön für alles. Ja.
Vielen Dank. And yes, that was it. Our great interview. Very nice guy. Very great band. Legendary band. It was an honor to have you here. And everything well on earth for you and the band for the rest of the tour.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön.
So,
All right.
Goodbye.
Tschüss.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
So, ich hoffe, ihr hattet ein bisschen Spaß mit dem Interview von Sepultura. Was sind eure Erinnerungen an Sepultura? Wart ihr auf der aktuellen Tour? Schreibt alles in die Kommentare, auch wenn ihr vorhabt, noch hinzugehen. Lasst ein Abo da, lasst ein Like da und zeigt dieses Video eurem lokalen Bundestrainer. Ich war Adrian von Tod gehört. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Macht es gut. Auf Wiedersehen.